Hi, I'm Meredith from SheSwingsOnAStar.com, and I'm here today to talk about a really common compensation that I see in people's bodies and perhaps maybe some solutions for that as well. So one thing that I see a lot are people, including myself, who have very tight pectoralis minor muscles. Those are the muscles that kind of bring the shoulders forward. And we spend so much time in this position, typing and looking at our phones and driving our cars. It's really common for this to get overactive. It's kind of one of those type A overachiever muscles that wants to work really hard. So the sequence that we're going to do today is going to open up the pectoralis minor, release that a little bit, and then activate some of the areas that sometimes tend to be overwhelmed by the pectoralis minor. So when we release the pec, then we can start to work on some of these other areas, such as the rhomboids, the serratus anterior, and a little bit of the lats as well. So I brought my alpha ball today from Tune Up Fitness. This is my favorite way to open up the pec minor, and I think I have another video actually on my YouTube channel that you can look up for using the alpha ball. But today, in case you don't have one of those, I'm going to show you just a really easy stretch that you can do at a wall. This is a great thing to do, take breaks throughout your day. If you're working on a computer or something, stand up, take a break, stretch out the front of your chest. So what you're going to do is stand sideways by a wall and place one hand back behind you. And then you're going to start to open up just to the degree that you feel a stretch through the front of that chest where it meets the shoulder. Take care that you're not hiking your shoulder up. And just breathe here, getting a nice gentle stretch. If as you stay in this position, you start to feel like it's opening a bit more, you can also kind of leverage your body away from the wall to deepen the stretch a little bit. Also, by turning your head away from the wall, like I'm turning towards you, that can also deepen the stretch through that side of the neck as well. I'm going to take some nice breaths here, in and out through the nose. Just allowing this area to open up a little bit. So maybe 30 to 60 seconds, at least on each side. And what we're hoping is that this will tell the pec minor to calm down a little bit. Let's release that side, and we're going to come into the other side. So turning the opposite way, bring that arm back behind you onto the wall, gently pressing into the wall, and then starting to angle your torso away. Now you might only be to here and feeling the stretch, and that's fine. You want to stay to whatever degree you're at that you're just going to get a nice gentle stretch, moving into it slowly. It might take time for it to open up and allow you to get a bigger stretch. If you start to feel some neuropathy, like numbness or tingling into the hands, then I would back up a little bit. Again, give it time to unfold. You don't have to get to the full expression on the first try or the first day. It might take a long time to start to open up this area. There's a lot of nerves that run through the area here, the pec minor that we're working on. And we don't want to anger those nerves. And then release. Kind of enjoy that feeling of spaciousness in the chest. And so for the next thing that we're going to do, we release the pec minor a bit. Now we want to activate the rhomboids, which are sometimes a little bit underactive because they're doing an opposite action of the pec minor. So for this, I'm going to turn my back to you for a minute. I'm going to place my hands on the wall about shoulder height and shoulder width apart. I'm going to make sure that my shoulders stay away from the ears. So if you start to see them hiking up, you definitely want to just encourage them to come back down your back. And I'm going to do what's called a rhomboid push-up, which the rhomboids help to retract the shoulder blades. They bring them closer to each other, closer to the spine. And then I'm going to push the wall away and come into protraction. Now, the pec minor helps with protraction, but if the pec minor is kind of talking too loud and trying to do all the work, it's overwhelming the rhomboids. It makes it hard for us to access those rhomboids, and it also can overwhelm the serratus anterior, which is the muscle that kind of wraps from back to front underneath the underarm. So we want to feel that area underneath the underarm engage as we push the wall away. And we want to feel the rhomboids between the shoulder blades engage as we bring the shoulder blades closer together. Now, this can be really difficult for some people. So I want you to keep the movement small and really focus just on bringing the shoulder blades together and apart. Sometimes some compensations that I see are bringing the shoulder blades up instead. We don't want to do that. We want to make sure that we're not lifting or hiking the shoulder blades. And you can also try this one-handed. So just the same thing, but only one hand is on the wall at a time. Or conversely, you can have two hands on the wall, but just move the one shoulder blade, retracting and protracting, just one shoulder blade at a time. If that gets too difficult, has a little bit less proprioception here, then just go back to doing both shoulder blades. But let's try the other shoulder now. And you might notice that one side is easier to do than the other. And then release. Now the next one that we're going to do is a forearm plank at the wall. So I'm just going to place my forearms like railroad tracks on the wall and press the wall away. So as I do this, once again, I want to, since we already released the pec minor, I want to make sure that I'm not overusing the pec minor, but I'm really thinking about engaging the serratus. So it's almost like you're hollowing out the underarm as you press the wall away. And as I press the wall away, my shoulder blades are moving away from each other on the wall, or towards the wall. Now from here, you can also change the focus of your muscular engagement a bit by also thinking about pulling the arms down the wall. So they're not really moving, but I just, by like doing this isometric movement down the wall, pulling the hands and the elbows down the wall, I'm also working to engage my lats, or latissimus dorsi, which is another area that can sometimes be underactive because of a facilitated pec minor. So it might look like I'm just standing here, but it's actually a really active pose. I'm really bringing some muscular engagement into this pose. And oftentimes, if you do have a regular yoga practice, we do a lot of pushing. We push in plank, we push in downward dog, but we don't do so much pulling. So that's actually a great way to bring in a pulling practice into your regular yoga practice. So if you have any questions, you can always find me on my website, www.sheswingsonastar.com, or send me an email at meredith@sheswingsonastar.com. Thank you.